I finally got my hands on a Hyundai Ioniq 5 and just look at it. It has more angles than Lara Croft in 1996 and it's just as captivating. Okay, first and foremost, range and price. This machine, being the limited edition spec, will set you back just shy of $113,000. And for that, it'll do 430 Ks on a charge. There are cheaper versions available. There are longer range versions available, but this one is the one I'm looking at today, and just look at those angles. It could have been a prop from Blade Runner, but it's real and it has the performance to back up the looks, with 2 motors and 225 kilowatts of power, giving a 0 to 100 time of 5.2 seconds. Now this is the top of the range version with a 73 kilowatt hour battery, but there are 4 more affordable versions available, each with different performance, some even having longer ranges, with the most affordable starting at 72 grand after the clean car rebate and doing 384 Ks per charge. The inside, however, is where you're spending most of your time, and it's by far my favourite vehicle interior so far, being refreshingly un-European, with light colours instead of the boring old grey or black of German cars. The large and airy interior includes 2 big touchscreens to control the vehicle's features, as well as a centre console which can be moved and complements the vehicle's incredible PSC of 65, being the largest of any vehicle I've tested. Of course, the Ioniq 5 has heated everything, as well as electronic leg rests included in the comfortable and ventilated electronic seats, which are able to recline all the way back. And you can even control the position of the rear seats with the seat-mounted buttons. As for the back, it has more legroom than I've seen in any car in recent times, owing to its 3-metre-long wheelbase. That's longer than the wheelbase on a Toyota Land Cruiser. Headroom in the back is also good, as are the creature comforts, and let's not forget the 547 litres of boot space available, which, as you can see, is more than big enough for a body. And it even has a teeny weeny little front boot with its 24 litres of capacity, which I managed to break.
I don't think I was supposed to do that.
Oh, and this limited version even includes a solar roof, which actually puts power back into the high voltage battery, not just the 12-volt battery. The list of options goes on, but to me the most important factor is that it looks boldly different. The thing is, people like you and me have been saying for years that, oh, cars today all look the same, and they really do, but not this. This still looks like a concept. Somehow it made it from the design studio into production without being watered down more than American beer. It ran the gauntlet like Hyundai Indiana Jones, passed all the bean counters and all the committees wearing cardigans, and ended up in production looking radical, and I love it. Anyway, enough waxing lyrical about the looks. You get the idea. I like it, but what's it like to drive? Now, I'm no Hyundaiologist, but I distinctly remember Hyundai from the 1980s, when we had abysmal vehicles like the Hyundai Pony and the less than stellar Hyundai Stella. I mean, the only positives on those vehicles were on their battery terminals. This is a whole different kettle of fish. The features, the specs, where do I begin? I mean, we start with these 2 massive 12-inch displays in front of me. These are real inches, not internet inches. High contrast, high definition, and it's got gimmicks as well. It's getting into Tesla territory, it's getting playful. If I click on media and I can press lively forest, that's the sound of a forest. I can change to other ones as well. Calm ocean waves. It's like being at the beach, but without sand up your backside. Far out, just about got caught in a rip there. Another interesting feature on this car is when you turn on the indicator, a circle appears on the dashboard depending on which direction you're going, and it shows the curb where your wheel is. So a little camera points towards the wheel to make sure you're not getting too close to the curb. You're not going to scrape the beautiful angles on this machine. This car also has every safety option imaginable. Obviously it's got lane keeping assist and adaptive cruise, automatic emergency braking, all that. Believe it or not though, this thing can also read and react to speed signs. If you see a 50 km/h speed zone there, it'll slow down. It'll see it and think, oh, okay, we better do 50. Humans don't even do that. I'm really struggling to find anything wrong with this. The only complaint I have is that part of the screen is obscured by the steering wheel, and unfortunately it's up as high as it can go. I normally prefer to have the steering wheel much lower. I love that everything about this car is so well thought out. For example, I can change the drive mode by pressing the steering wheel. I'm now in sport mode, and instantly I can feel it's much more responsive under the accelerator. It's also got regenerative braking adjustment, these paddles on the side, so I can now put it in maximum regen, and I just slowed down there without actually touching the brake. I should also point out with the interior, this interior is really lovely and soft. This is the leather version. There is a synthetic version in which they use 32 recycled plastic bottles in each interior. That's like sitting on a Hollywood movie star. That's how much plastic's in them. It's incredible. I mean, it's such a cliche to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. This feels like driving in the future. Driving in the future it may be, but what's it like driving in New Zealand today? Well, to find out, I took it on a road trip. Let me talk to you about some of the features in this car. It is incredibly comfortable. Long wheelbase makes it a real comfortable cruiser. That and the fact that it's 2 tons. 2 tons is not actually that much for an electric car. It's only about 6 Weight Watchers points, but it does mean that with its low slung center of gravity, it is a really comfortable car to be in. Something else that's really great about this car is the sound system. It has an 8-speaker Bose sound system. Now what I'd love to do is play a song at volume, but YouTube and Facebook's algorithms are such that if I dared play a pop song, they would cancel me faster than a celebrity on Twitter. So just take my word for it, it sounds really sharp. Imagine knives and forks flying out of the speakers, that's how sharp it is. This car also has buckets of USB charging points and wireless charging as well, but unfortunately my phone doesn't have wireless charging because it's as old as I am. But it does have this little thing here, which you might think is a speaker. It's not, it's actually a magnet. So you can put a magnetic backing on your phone and pop it right there. So it's in your line of sight, but you don't have an ugly cell phone holder glued to a vent or something. That's not bad, that's pretty smart thinking. As I mentioned before, it has so many safety features that you lose track. So I'm gonna put on lane keeping assist. Let's give it a go. It says it's on. Oh, I'm scared to let go. I'm just gonna have my hands right there. Oh, there's a corner. Will it go around the corner? Oh, it's doing it. Okay, I've been in a Tesla with autopilot. Oh, this guy's getting close to me. So this thing's keeping track. This is the future, man. I know it's a cliche. I know I've said it before, but this is the future. This car is driving itself. This is Hyundai's autopilot. And it's just as smooth as a Tesla system. Okay, I felt like it went to the left just a little bit when it saw that off-ramp. So it was thinking, do I go here or do I go there? But no, it did the right thing and decided not to kill me. Thank you, car. I appreciate that. Fast forward 30 minutes and I've been playing around with the lane keeping assist a bit more. I'm just resting my hands, relaxing on the steering wheel and letting it do all the steering. And the glamour has disappeared a little bit. It's not perfect. See, you don't beep at me. You did that. You're the one guiding me towards the line. If I just rest my hands, it's not that smooth after all. Okay, it's good. But Tesla has years of experience and you did that. Don't flash a green light at me. Get lippy at me. I mean, sorry, which of my bills do you pay? None. You did that. You're doing this. Don't get stroppy at me. Yeah, okay. Obviously common sense. It's not self-driving. It's lane keeping assist. You already knew that. Use common sense. Something mildly interesting about this car is that it is built on the Electric Global Modular Program, which Hyundai have given a funny acronym to. Basically, that's just a skateboard of batteries and motors that Hyundai have developed, and they're putting that on a bunch of different electric cars. So the drivetrain, motors, and battery pack out of this can go right onto another electric car Hyundai's making as well. That makes it much cheaper than building separate systems for each electric car. Something useful for Kiwis right now is how loud is the cabin at 100 k's an hour on New Zealand's coarse chip roads. Looking at about 78 decibels. Which is still the quietest car I've tested yet. That's not bad. And as I made my way south and crossed the halfway point, I found myself getting a little philosophical. I'm now past the halfway mark in this journey to Taupo, and I've got to say the journey has been unremarkable, and that is a good thing. What I'm getting at is that the last electric car I had back in 2016, I used it, even though it was a city car, I used it to go long distance. I went once from the border in Austria all the way across the Slovak Republic to Ukraine, and then all the way back again. That was a journey of just under 1,200 kilometers in a car that could only do about 100 kilometers per charge. So I ended up stopping to recharge on that journey 16 times. Yes, I know what you're thinking. I was bad. That's how in love with electric cars I am. The point I'm getting at is that in comparison, this journey has been utterly unremarkable. I mean, I got in this car, I pressed start, and I drove, and I'm past halfway there already without having to worry about recharging. I love not only this car, but what it represents for electric vehicles, how far they've come in such a short time. It's not the future, this is the present, and it's freaking awesome. And what was almost as awesome was the idea of stopping for a late lunch. I have just arrived to the bustling metropolis of Putaruru, and I really want a cup of tea and a bite to eat, so let's see what they've got going on. Ah, the Cow Cafe, that sounds like me. God almighty, I got boxed in by some giant truck. But I got a cup of tea and a sandwich, so I'm all good to go. Okay, now you probably can't see through the camera there very well, but I'm actually blocked in right now, so if I use my phone, I'll cut over to that footage, you can see, yeah, I'm kind of blocked in. So I'll make the best of this situation and have my sandwich now, I guess. So I sat there like the muppet I am, eating my sandwich, before eventually choosing to navigate around the truck and the roadworks sign behind me in order to continue south. Oh, for crying out loud. Try and go at an angle, try not to hurt the car. Don't scrape the 20-inch wheels. Okay, we're good. Yeah, we avoided the sign. Good, okay. We're free. Thank you, truck driver. Appreciated that. It's a shame I had to go and buy a cup of tea because I had actually planned on making one on the journey. With this car, Hyundai supply a cool gadget called V2L, or vehicle to load, which is fancy speak for a box you plug into the back recharging port on the car in the corner there, and it lets you draw power out of the high voltage battery pack. It drops it down to 230 volts at 15 amps, that's 3.5 kilowatts, that you can draw out of this battery to use this thing like a giant four-wheeled power bank. Great if you want to go camping or power an air conditioner or a fridge or a kettle or something. So what I'd planned on doing was stopping on the side of the road somewhere, brewing up a kettle with a cup of tea, maybe boil up some potatoes as you do. But no, they didn't give me the toy. I searched everywhere. Come on, Hyundai, I had to buy my own tea. While I eat up the miles, let me quickly plug Ecotricity, the company that puts potatoes in my belly and makes these videos possible. If you're anything like me, you probably want to give future generations a fighting chance by reducing your carbon footprint. The easiest way to do that is to join Ecotricity right now to ensure that every bit of electricity you use is 100% renewable. There are a handful of power companies in New Zealand right now, but Ecotricity is the only one that's actually carbon zero certified, and their prices are very competitive too. So with Ecotricity, you can afford to drive your electric car 100% guilt-free. Make the move today at ecotricity.co.nz, and while you're there, check out the EV Buyer's Guide, where you'll find the ranges and prices of every electric vehicle on sale in New Zealand today, including this one, which was just arriving to Taupo. And I have made it to Taupo, and I love this place. Massive volcanic crater, and the charger is just around the corner. I believe it's down here. There they are, right there. Now these aren't just some ordinary chargers. You wait till you see these beasts. Man, okay, I'm already smiling because something exciting is about to happen. Wait till you see the charging speed on this car. I haven't seen it in real life. I'm about to, and it's supposed to be awesome. I'm excited. Using these ChargeNet chargers is as easy as swiping your key fob and connecting your car, and in my case, eagerly waiting to see just how fast this car was going to charge. But as per my usual luck, a diesel combustion vehicle pulled up just as things were about to get good, so be glad you don't have smell-o-vision. The smell of that diesel next to me is disgusting, man. That is rotten. Holy cow, look at that. Okay, it's ramping up. 84, 91 kilowatts, 97, 104 kilowatts, 111. Okay, we're doing over 100. Oh, it's going up. We're into the high power zone, 189. Can it get 200? We are now charging it. It's going up. It's doing 207 kilowatts right now. 207 kilowatts of power going in there. Can you imagine 207 kilowatts going through that cable right now? That is enough to power a busy suburban street in the middle of winter with all the electrics going. Alright, while that thing is hyper rapid charging, that gives me a few minutes to talk about the battery. We are hyper rapid charging right now. This thing is currently sucking down 216 kilowatts. Absolutely amazing. I'm running out of adjectives, lost for words. Okay, so let's talk about the charging speed. Obviously, this thing's going to hyper rapid charge to about 80% full in about 25 minutes, more or less. That's hyper rapid charging. If you were to use a regular household charger that the car comes with, you'd probably be looking at about 36 hours. So my advice to you, when charging at home, like 90% of all electric car owners do, I would recommend getting a 7 kilowatt charger installed like these ones. This one's from EV Next. The price for one of these 7 kilowatt units from them is probably going to be around $2,000 or so, more or less, depending on how easy it is in your house. That system would recharge a car like this fully overnight. So that would be a couple of grand, probably really worth investing. Just great peace of mind. I mean, you could use the everyday charger that comes with a car, but only if you're really doing relatively reasonable distances every day. If you're going to be going flat out, draining it empty, doing 400 Ks a day, then get the 7 kilowatt charger. One question I want to address that gets asked a lot by people new to electric cars is, well, how long do the batteries last? The short answer is, don't worry about it. Seriously, don't worry about it. Batteries now last so long that it's going to outlast the car. Not only that, it has an 8-year warranty. Household appliances don't even have 8-year warranties. So in short, don't even worry about it. You wouldn't believe it. In the few minutes it's taken me to plug in the car, bring the camera inside, start the recorder, do this little spiel you just heard to camera, it's now showing 69% charged in that time. From 22% to 69%, 70% now. That's more than enough for me to go home. So I'm gonna go unplug. It's been a fun day. I love living in the future. Oh, man, I don't want to give this car back. It's been a fun couple of days. It's been an epic day driving this thing down here to Taupo. It's got so many positives. There are a few cons. It's expensive. The steering wheel covers the display a little bit, but that's it. Otherwise, it's a work of art. And don't let this bother you that it's not Italian or German. It's just as good looking. In fact, I would say that this is the best looking production car being made today. And you may disagree with me, and that's okay, but you would be 100% wrong. Whoa, hang on, I haven't finished yet. I forgot to show the performance. Save the best for last. Ready, and put down. Crikey! Oh, that's great, right off the mark. And 100. Oh man, when was the last time driving raised your heart rate? This is intense. Okay, one last time. There's no one else on the road. One last time. Okay, here we go. Ready? And... oh, ow! This is awesome! Oh man, you gotta buy one of these. Buy one, please, buy one. You've got to. It's just awesome. Ow! Ow!